Not every film can be Citizen Kane, but even critics have claimed that it was shit in its day. Some films are shit and shit they will stay, but some get better over time because of Nicolas Cage. So which film stays shit forever? And which one's got a little bit better? Second chance movies. No poor bloods were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Welcome to Second Chance Movies, the podcast where we rewatch movies and decide if they deserve a second chance.
I'm Joe Harper, your host who loves rewatching movies and have received 3 speeding tickets in my life.
I'm Jessica Kwazz, your host who's a one and done kind of movie viewer who doesn't know what horsepower means and may never will. And today, we are giving a second chance to The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift.
All right, we are doing this movie because it's another big summer blockbuster, and this one happens to end in a 3. And hey, we've been doing a couple of those recently. This comes from the Fast and the Furious franchise, which I don't know how you haven't heard of this because it's one of the biggest franchises. The third one, for those of you who forgot. Before I get into anything, spoilers. Jessica and Joe are going to be talking about Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. It's weird because I think there's a lot of rankings. I was looking at this movie. Not anyone's ranking is the same. Some like movies, some of them other. I don't know, man. It's all over the place. But Tokyo Drift consistently was like at the bottom or lower in the lower half. There was only one that was in like the 3rd slot. And I was like, that's really high for this movie.
That's very high for this movie.
Especially because we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in at least 4 of them. So, I know, yikes. All right, guys. Let's start off with the summary. For those of you who do not remember what Tokyo Drift was about. A teenager becomes a major competitor in the world of drift racing after moving in with his father in Tokyo to avoid a jail sentence in America. Jessica, do you think that sums up this movie well?
I mean, all those things happen. It's weird though, because like, yes, he technically does go to live with his dad in Tokyo to avoid a jail sentence in America, which I don't know how that works, but that's what's happening in this movie. However, it's only a thing for like the first 15 to 20 minutes, and then we never talk about it again. So I don't think we need that in the summary.
See, in the summary, I would take out he's a major competitor.
Oh, yeah, he's not.
He is a newbie and not major competitor.
Yeah, no.
He messed with some major players.
Yes.
But this does seem just like a little hobby and not like a huge like circuit event. It was just like a group of high school kids that are just racing.
Yeah, and as I was watching this movie, I realized he's not that great at racing. So he's very like novice-y, but like he's into cars, so he wants to race. Like
he likes them, and I get it. You like cars.
Sure.
I'm not a huge car fan, not a motorhead. I don't get it.
No.
But like I get that it's a hobby. I understand why people would like it.
Sure.
It's just on my lifestyle.
No.
But I think it's interesting following this kid in his perspective. But yeah, they lose the
way I would describe Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift is there's speeding cars in Tokyo, and none of the characters or storylines from the Fast and Furious, the first 2, relate to this.
We get a brief cameo at the end, and that's it.
We do.
I'm fairly familiar with the franchise. I made the wife watch them not in order because, oh man, this was a franchise she was not on board with.
I understand.
She doesn't care about cars or racing, so she was like, I don't want to watch this. Not interested at all. So, of course, my hook for this is like, it has The Rock in it. He's always fun. I don't know. How about you just watch the 5th one? That was my way of tricking her into it. tricking her into it. I chose my word wisely. And that's like bank robbing. They rob like a bank in that one. That's how I get her into this franchise. Then they're all like go crazy, and then I make her go back and watch this one. She's not a fan.
So I have to be real.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first 3 Fast and Furious movies.
Oh yeah.
After this movie, it's where I stopped.
Oh wow.
As a Fast and Furious movie watcher, tell us about the first time you saw the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
I honestly do not remember because I watched them all out of order. I think because like the way I watched this franchise, and I'll start with this franchise, was I watched bits and pieces of the first one off of TV, like scenes. I was like, this is all right. And then I didn't watch the second one. I didn't watch the third one. The trailer for the fourth one came out, and I thought that looks not bad. And I watched it. And I didn't really care for it. The fifth one came out, and you know what? You know who they cast in that movie?
Was it The Rock?
Dwayne Johnson, and I was
Okay.
on board. I was like, I gotta watch this. And you know what? So much driving, explosions, crashes, just over the top action with this. Same with 6, same with 7. 8, we go just bonkers in 8. 8 is really dumb, but like, man, is it a fun ride. And then we haven't seen 9 yet. So, and then I think after I watched 7 is when I went back and was like, you know what? Let me watch 2 and 3 and see what happened there.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it really out of order.
Wow, that is a very roundabout way of watching an entire franchise.
And then I watched 8, and then I watched the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw. So
Wow.
I'm all over the place with this. I did not watch it in sequential order. And hey guys, you don't need to. Who
Okay,
cares?
interesting. So I had the exact opposite experience with this franchise that you had.
I think what you did wrong was try and watch them in order. Don't watch them in any order.
Okay, I did not try to watch them in order. I just so happened to watch
Okay.
them in order because, like, when I was younger, these movies were like it. You had to see Fast and Furious. Like,
Yeah.
you had to.
There's a whole like experience at Universal
Mhm.
Studios.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I like that.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
like
dope.
Dom Family, and they just driving around you while you're on the little tour cart. You're like, oh, cool, there they are.
So
Family.
so I want to say the first 2 I probably rented at like a Blockbuster or a Family Video, yeah. And
Wow.
I think for the third, for Tokyo Drift, I want to say I saw it in theaters. I could be wrong though. It could have been a Blockbuster, don't know. And I know I watched it with one of my friends at the time. And so we were probably about 12 or 13. And it was really just one of those things where like you had to like Fast and Furious to be cool. So
I mean, that still holds up today. If you don't like Fast and
Mhm.
Furious, you are not cool. That is
Oh,
that is
man.
fact. Yeah. Unfortunately,
Oh,
I
oh.
know it's really unfortunate.
So I remember at 12 or 13, we thought this movie, Tokyo Drift, was so cool. It was like, Tokyo, fast cars, oh, Bow Wow's in the mix. We were just like, wow, 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 this is so cool. Ah. And then I never saw it again until this week. And wow, no, that's not how I felt about it this time around. We should definitely hear what other people had to say about 3.
You know what? I like to start this off with just being positive. Let's see some positive reviews. I do want to start off with the tomato meter.
Of course.
The tomato meter for this Fast and Furious, 37%. Audience, 69.
Wow. Wow.
But that's much higher than the critics.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so audiences liked it. Critics thought this was a stinker. All right, guys, first positive review. Christopher Borrell of Toledo Blade. It made me want to book a trip to Japan, then do donuts in a subdivision.
You know what? I agree. I could just go to Japan and then do donuts like around my block. so I don't need to go to Japan just for that. But I will say, watching it, I was like, Japan, I want to go there. Tokyo looks dope.
I didn't have that same feeling. And we can get into that. I don't think they did enough Japanese things in this movie.
Oh, they definitely don't. They for sure
I
don't.
think it was like right as Sean gets there, just the culture shock of him getting used to a new place, and then once he's been there for like a day, we forget it's Japan.
Yeah, we really do. Kevin A. Ranson with moviecrypt.com wrote, a nod to the old New Kid in Town formula film, ... It's better than you might expect. Okay.
I do think the most, I don't know how much detail I want to get into right now or reading reviews, but the most interesting thing for me is him adjusting to like Japanese lifestyle. And that's only at the beginning.
Yeah, so
the rest of it's pretty boring.
Yeah, this guy fits into Japan very easily.
But you know what? I'll give my thoughts of how I would make this movie with all the knowledge I have of the other franchises.
Okay,
movies.
Yeah, wow, we're gonna get deep with that, I'm sure.
I want to try. I think we're gonna break this script.
Okay.
We're gonna make our own Fast and Furious. We're gonna have cars. We're gonna have Japan. We're gonna have family. And yeah, that's what we're gonna have. Neil Smith of BBC.com. Lynn's enjoyably stupid action flick keeps the thrills coming thick and fast. Now, there's a better pun out there.
Yeah, bro, you stumbled.
You were just not trying.
You stumble. You can't say and then make a pun. You gotta first of all have the confidence.
Wrote
bro. Fast. You gotta just go for it. If you're gonna have a pun, you gotta just feel it. That's your problem there.
Like, just play on the word. I was drifting in my seat.
I was having some furiously fun watching them be fast, or what? If you're gonna go there, you just could polish it up a little bit.
3 Fast, 3 Furious.
James Dyer from Empire Magazine wrote, dramatically dire, but dramatically dire, but supercharged with some of the best race action yet seen.
In
this movie,
in this franchise, or in all cinema? Because either one is
very wrong.
It's a very hard no.
But it's a pretty generalized statement, so I think he might mean like all of cinema.
Unless you're talking about the opening sequence, maybe.
Okay, but he did write this in 2006, so he did not know what was to come.
I'm not talking about what came after. I'm talking about like before, where you still have like Italian Job,
right?
French Connection.
Yes.
There's even like a movie I think is really boring. Ronin has great action driving sequence. There's just not the best racing sequences.
No.
All right. Victoria Alexander of filmsandreview.com. Furiously sexy. Black is perfectly sex showcased without taking off his shirt or kissing a girl. Tokyo has no one over 20.
No.
Victoria Alexander needs to take a cold shower.
Seriously?
Calm your tits, girl. What is happening?
Wow, girl, you were feeling something with this movie. Okay, but like he also had so much chest hair popping out of every shirt of his.
I noticed that a lot.
I was really grossed out by that. I could not deal with that.
As a hairy gentleman myself, I thought, yikes, dude, you need to trim it up a little bit. Who on set hair and makeup was like, should we do something about this? Nah. Oh, they're teenagers. They're really into hairy chest.
It was like coming out over the shirts. It's too much.
Well, he's supposed to be like 16 or 17 in this movie, I assume, because he's in high school.
He's in high school.
And all those high schoolers for having like super burly chests.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh man. Our cattiest bitch, Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times wrote, "It delivers all the races and crashes you could possibly desire, and a little more." He liked it.
What?
Yeah, he liked this.
Wait. He liked this, but
Yeah.
he didn't like North. He hated it. And
Yeah.
this, he was like, I like it.
It has races and crashes and a little more. Yeah,
I'll
no,
never
he was
understand
into
that
it.
guy.
No, that guy was wilded, and I respect it.
Okay, guys, we're going to get into some negative reviews.
Oh, let's get sassy.
Fernando F. Croce, Cinepassion. Tediously testosterone filled. Oh boy, is there a lot of testosterone in this movie.
There's a lot of like, man, yeah, I'm a man.
I drove a car. The phrase, "Are you talking to my girl?" was said more than once.
Oh my god, it sure
You're
was.
talking to my girl. Yeah, I'm talking to my friend and classmate that I see every day at school. Joe Lozito of Big Picture, Big Sound. While the films are still fast, the only thing furious might be the audience after paying $10 for this.
That's how you do it. That is
Yeah.
how you do it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Marcy-Ann Miller from Mountain Express out of Asheville, North Carolina said, "The movie The Room's on through its sequence of ear-splitting, knuckle-biting, artery-thumping, yet eerily emotion-free races. Ho hum."
What movie did they watch?
Girl, I don't know where she was at, but it seems like a scary place.
You know what? Let's talk about our second chances. We gave this movie a second chance, unlike some of these critics. Jessica,
Yes.
before we get into what we do not like about this movie, what do you like about this movie?
Oh, it's so hard. So one thing I really like about this movie is that
Okay.
they use the song "My Life Be Like Ooh Wah Ooh Wah Ooh." You know that song?
We
My
don't
life
have
be
the
like-
rights for you to sing it.
Okay.
You sing it almost identical to the
Okay.
way it's performed. So they might get confused on like, oh no, they're playing the song. Do they have the rights to that? I don't know. We might need to sue them.
So I guess I'll just speak it then. I really like when they use the song "My Life Be Like Ooh Wah Ooh Wah Ooh Wah," which I can't sing for copyright reasons.
Do not know what you're talking about. Which scene are you talking about?
What?
Maybe
It's
I
such
don't
a
not.
good song.
Maybe
Okay.
I'm not. Well, first of all, there's a far superior song in this movie. What scene are you talking about?
So I'm talking. So okay, first of all, this was like a early 2000s bop. The song altogether slams. They only play a few seconds of it, so I could just be like, "Oh yeah, this song," and then it's like over. But basically, when like Bow Wow is like, "Hey guy, you want to see my car?" and they're like doing the crazy Tokyo garage, the song that plays, "My Life Be Like."
You and I have very different taste in music.
We sure do.
The fact that, because I've never heard the song, the fact that it played in that song and I do not remember it is insane. First of all, the far superior song in this movie is "Ba Wida Ba" by Kid Rock.
Yeah, they do play that.
They are blasting at the beginning
Oh.
when Sean is racing his car, and it
Yep.
is amazing.
It's a good song to watch a car race to, because it's just like this like amped up like wild song.
The wife popped a question at the very end of the movie that
Hmm.
I didn't catch, and I'm curious if you also knew. Do they play any Bow Wow songs in the movie?
I don't think so.
She was like, wait, did we get through an entire movie that had Bow Wow in it and they didn't even play one of his songs?
I don't think they did.
Because I'm pretty sure they play Ludacris song in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Of course they would.
But
Okay,
they
but
don't
like
do it for Bow Wow.
not to be rude to Shad Moss or Shane Moss or Lil Bow Wow or Bow Wow, whatever you want to, whatever his name is. I think Bow Wow is just like happy to be there. You know, he's just happy to be there. Whereas Ludacris is like, what am I gonna get out of this? Are you gonna play my song? you know, it's just that makes sense that Bow Wow was just like, yeah, I'll take the movie and wouldn't negotiate a song played in it as well.
Well, while we're on the topic of Bow Wow, I don't care about his character in this movie.
No,
I think
no.
actor, fine.
Yeah.
The idea of the character, like a new best friend that's also like an American in Japan, also good. That should be like the buddy. I guess what I don't like is they kind of put him like in the back seat of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the car pun. It was necessary for the description. But like when he meets him, Bow Wow. Oh, also his name is. Do you know what his name is?
I do not know.
I only know it because I looked it up on IMDb. I think they might have said it like once. His name's Twinkie.
What? What?
Oh, I hate it. I hate
That's
that.
awful.
I hate it.
No.
So give him a different name.
Totally.
Any other? Call him Bow Wow because that's what I'll be doing.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
So Bow Wow comes up to him trying to sell him stuff, and I just think I really wish from it. The tweak I would make on his character is Sean approaches Bow Wow because, oh, hey, you have a wheel. Do you drive? I'm interested in cars. He's like, yeah. Oh, hey, you're also an American. Yeah, that's so cool. We have two things in common. Let's be friends because I'm kind of a nerd for cars and I haven't made any friends either. And then they can become like besties over there. That's what should have happened.
Yeah, that's way more simple and understandable than Bow Wow tries to sell him an iPod, and then
like that's his like character just starts to, and he gets in trouble later when someone tries to beat the shit out of him for selling a defective, resell. Like,
yeah, completely unnecessary. We don't need that as his character. And so I you're right. I like the pieces of this character, what this character is supposed to be. And Bow Wow's not bad. Bow Wow seems like he's having fun.
I feel like Bow Wow fits in this universe.
Once Sean gets into the car scene and the racing of Tokyo, Bow Wow's like gone. Like he just kind of disappears. And that's lame.
He disappears in the dust.
You could say he bowed out of here.
He bowed out of here. He bowed out of here. Oh man.
So that's lame because like you're right, like it's a buddy that has an interest. He's like already in the Tokyo car scene a little bit too. So why would he dip out of there? Like he's already there. It's super weird because also he's second build. Like he's supposed to be a main character. And he's just gone. I have one more thing that I like.
Okay.
And I know like this plays a bigger role, or this character plays a bigger role in like the future movies. I don't know a ton about that.
Luckily, you're with me who can tell you.
Oh shit. Well, before you do, I just want to say that like I do like Han. I think he's a fun character. I think he's a cool like teacher. Like he's gonna teach. Although there is one point mentor. I think although there is one point where he's like, you just gotta feel the drift, and I was like, oh my god.
So Han
that's not his fault.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Han is like the most laid back, like whatever, let's do this. Like he's just like, I'm here for fun. Like I like racing. Let's do this, dude. Like,
and he's snacking like, all the time too.
Everyone is rushing to get in this like elevator and like get in to see the race better. And he just takes his fucking time chewing popcorn and just like laid back in the elevator, just like, I'm gonna ride this elevator. And just like so cool. He is the highlight character of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And like even moments like when he and Sean are driving and he just tells them a bit of when he drives past the cops and they speed past the cops, he's like, oh yeah, if you're going 180, they can't even catch up, so they don't even bother. And I was like, oh, these are the moments that are just so good. And I wish we got more of that.
I do too.
With Bow Wow with him.
Yes. The parts we get of him are so cool, especially him being a mentor. But yeah, there's just not enough there. Like I want more of that.
The race at the beginning, so much fun. So Sean Wan High School races Brad from Home Improvement.
He sure does.
Through like a construction site of like model homes. and they plow through a lot of them and wreck those cars. It's so fun with the ba.
Out with the bow.
So much fun. Two familiar faces I saw in that crowd. I don't know if you spotted
I
them.
saw one.
Who's
So-
the familiar face you saw?
God, what's her name? She was on the Carmichael show.
That is, Amber Stevens West, Carmichael show. She plays Gerard's girlfriend,
Yeah, so
fiance.
I recognized her.
Yeah. She is a brief part as the girl who starts the race by taking off her bra. And then Clay's girlfriend, Cindy. Do you recognize her?
Hold on. Because I think I just did. Because the whole time I was looking at her, I was like, this bitch looks so familiar. How do I know her?
She's not a name we would
not.
recognize. Nikki Griffin.
She was in the OC and she played.
She sure was.
Was she like Trey's quote unquote girlfriend?
She's in the OC.
Yes.
That's for sure. The wife and I saw her, we were like, she looks so familiar. OC.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever mentioned it on the show before, but Joe and I are really big fans of the OC.
Seasons 1 and 2.
Specifically, yes. Yeah, season 1 and 2.
Season 3, you have to march through it.
Yeah.
Season 4, we're just wrapping things up at that point, and we do not care. Season 1 and 2 are just TV treasure.
Truly.
Oh, man. So I like the race at the beginning. It's fun. The last thing I really like about the movie is the idea, not how it lays out, but the idea of Sean, needs to go live with his dad, just given a reason he needs to go live with his dad who lives in Japan. And so Sean has to adjust to a new culture, lifestyle, but everyone he meets, not one of them is Japanese. And it's so weird.
It's so weird. And yeah, there's like a couple of minutes worth of him being like, oh, this is a new culture. What do I do here? And then immediately he's like completely comfortable there.
I think this movie so the things I don't like about this movie right off the bat is give it more Japan in it.
Yeah.
Show us more Japan culture. Show us more iconic Japan locations. Because like one of the coolest like race sequences is them drifting through the crowd, like the famous cross street where everyone is just shoulder to shoulder crossing, and they all separate while the cars are just barely gliding through them. Looks great. But like we don't get much. I feel like we need more of that, especially like you said, with more like neon lights or just like bright city stuff. We don't really get. We get like the one scene sequence of it. I need more of that. Them like eating Japanese food, them like just so many other things.
I want like Japan to be another character in this movie.
Yeah,
it just doesn't feel that way at all. And yeah, like when it comes to some like cool races, a lot of them take place like it looks like it could be anywhere, like a parking garage or like the big races in like some like dark streets somewhere.
There are 4 big races. One is in America in that construction site. Second is in the parking garage, which could have been anywhere. The third is through the city streets. That's where we get our cool shot I just talked about. And the fourth is at night during what looks like just a road in the mountains.
Yeah.
Nothing. It gives me nothing. And it's dark. I can't see anything.
Yeah. And so Sean is in high school, which is truly baffling because he's like a 20-something-year-old who looks like a 30-something-year-old playing a teenager.
He's in his 20s. Everyone in this movie is in their like mid-20s or 30s and playing high school kids.
It shows.
How old do you think DK and Han were supposed to be? I
do not know because like DK to me felt like maybe 21-ish. Still at an inappropriate age to hang out with high schoolers, but like sort of cuspy with their
like
age. But
it makes sense. Like, oh, if he was a senior dating a freshman,
yeah,
and now he's out and he's still dating her. If you have to, dude, meet another girl your age. But
yeah,
but love.
No, get out of high school.
But Daddy,
bro.
I love him.
So that's his vibe. And then Han, I'm like, dude, are you in your 30s? Like.
Han is in his 30s.
Why are you there with a bunch of high schoolers, bro?
It's just really weird that, well, because they don't say his age, but the actor was in his 30s when this was filmed. But I have no idea why these two guys are hanging out with all the high school girls.
No.
It's weird.
It's super weird.
So,
It's,
like,
ugh,
how about movie? Let's make one adjustment. They're not in high school.
we don't need them in high school.
Let's have them all, Sean just has to work a different job. He doesn't have to be in high school.
I think the only reason why in my mind it makes sense that Sean and his buds have to be high schoolers is so that they could appeal to like the young, like middle school teenage crowds that already liked the movie though.
Maybe,
But
but
like,
also it gives them a reason not to send Sean just to jail for doing that. I think at the beginning.
which like also doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know how the juvenile court system works, but the idea that it's like, hey kid, you're either going to jail or I guess you could move to a different country with your father. Like,
See, you could still get that result with him saying like, oh shit, all this destruction, they're gonna get me. I'm just gonna dip and live in Japan.
Straight up, like you could have done so many other things besides the fact that he's a teen and he's got to go live with his dad.
Dad, can I come live with you? Or just show up on his door. Hey dad, I want to live with you because I can't live over there. It'll just be for like a month or two. I don't want you to, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let me kick out my prostitute real quick.
Oh yeah, that happens.
That sure did happen.
That happened.
Oh,
Also,
I didn't know I forgot you were coming today because of time difference.
Ugh.
No, you knew.
No, Dad.
You're just a bad dad.
Oh, he's such a bad dad. Well, one thing that I'll just say I didn't like, I mean, we don't need to have like a big discussion on it, but I didn't like or understand the villain of this movie. Like, I just didn't get what his deal was.
I have to ask. I have to be more specific. Are you talking about DK or DK's uncle?
I mean, kind of both, but more specifically DK.
Okay. He's more of the antagonist. I wouldn't say villain, but antagonist.
Sure. To me, it's just like I don't get why he's such a little shit and why he
I got your answer.
Aggressive.
Testosterone.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
All it is, I hate it so much when, bro, you talking to my girl?
Oh
my God, she's a person, and we're talking. We're not like
literally.
We're not like making out in front of you. We're not like, what are you doing?
Classmates. Why are you hanging out a high schooler, DK?
Yeah,
that's the real question. Why is your girl a high schooler who lives with you? Like, what the fuck is that whole? I can't even get into that. That's way too much. I just don't understand. Like, okay, he's like has an uncle who's a mobster, sure.
Yeah, his uncle's part of the Yakuza.
Yeah, and then that's kind of his deal, and like he's aggressively racing cars.
Well, one of the things that happens is Han has some of the money.
Sure, yeah, that does happen, but I didn't get any of that either.
I also didn't understand what the big deal was. Like Han used some of the money. What do you mean? Like, because like Han's even like, isn't that what we do? Like,
right?
What is the issue?
Right.
I was like, yeah, I'm on Han's. I don't know what we're angry about. No. If we're all gangsters spending our laundered money, like, what do you care? I don't understand the whole Yakuza being mad at him.
No.
And then I like that Sean's honorable enough, like, hey, I have money that Han, because Han had the money for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was trying to tell DK, but DK was, too tough. Okay. I do think it's really weird. We have a movie set in Japan and there's only one actor that is Japanese. There's one actor that's half Japanese, but the only full Japanese actor is Sonny Chiba, who's the uncle.
And he's not even in it that much. Like
he's like a legend in film, though.
Yeah, right. But in the movie specifically,
yeah, he's like
he's this sort of like ominous presence, but he himself is only in it for like 3 scenes. So that's really bad. That's really bad movie. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. We have some American actors of Asian descent, but neither one, I think DK's only half Japanese.
Okay.
And then the girl he meets in class, again, it's weird that you don't hire like a Japanese actress. She is born in Peru, but raised in Australia. which is a fun little mix there.
Mhm.
So, but like, why is she there? What is this school that
Right.
only has non-Japanese children here? What are we doing, movie?
I was very confused by that. And then I think I learned that this was a school for military children because I think Sean's dad is in the military.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's implied. I don't know if he's still in the military.
I think he wears a uniform
It's
when he comes home one day or something.
Oh.
It's so like tiny and unnecessary.
I don't know, man. Because I think Twinkie mentions his parents are,
Yeah.
you know, or one of the parents was.
Yeah, it's not dived into enough, but I think that's what it was.
But if that's the case, if we're in this new country, we don't have to go to a school with just military kids.
No.
That's
No.
You can put them in any school.
Right. But we chose a school where it would just be him and a bunch of other Americans or European or Australian. Like, it's so strange. Like,
Yeah.
give us Tokyo. It's in the title.
Jessica, do you think this movie deserves a second chance?
I do not. I don't think you need to see it. Like we said, Han is the best part, and he pops up in other Fast and Furious movies. So I'd say watch those before this for sure.
He's in more of them. Like, he's in it longer than he is in this. More screen time.
And that was a big complaint, was there's not enough fun. So there's movies that fix that. Go watch them. Like I said, when I was watching it, not being someone who's like deep in the franchise at all, watching it, I was like, I'd rather watch any of the other ones. So that's what I say. Go watch any of the other ones.
As someone who has seen all of them and owns them all, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift does not hold up. I wouldn't give it a second. You shouldn't give it a second chance. It was just okay the first time. It has some good elements in it, but again, it just doesn't hold up, especially with a franchise where we've got 9 other movies we can select from. This is in the bottom 3 for me, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, not probably. It's definitely in the bottom 3. If you are interested in this franchise, if you haven't seen it for some reason, or thought, man, it's been a while since I got behind the wheel of this movie, you know what? Start off with the 5th one, because we get The Rock. And then watch them in that order, because they just get fun. They're just fun. And I think they really play into, like, we're just driving in cars and this is ridiculous. And they lean into it. They put the pedal to the metal.
Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Second Chance Movies. As always, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Second Chance Movies. All of our links and all of our social media, everything is in the show notes. So check that out if you want to follow us. Let us know what you think. What are movies we should give another second chance to? I'm not even going to ask you what you think about Tokyo Drift, because this movie sucks. Don't even worry about it.
What is your favorite Fast and franchise movie? Who's your favorite character? Who's your least favorite character? Let's talk about these movies.
Let us know what you think. Big thank you to Beaty McBeatface for our theme song. And we'll be back next week with another Second Chance movie.
Family!
Second chance movie.